So here's a tip. When you're speaking with a Jehovah Witness and you're trying to give them the gospel, one of the things you have to consider is that Jehovah Witnesses do not believe that Jesus was God. Well, Jehovah Witnesses, they do a very good job at studying and, practicing whenever they're in their kingdom halls on how to, do rebuttals and talk to people and so forth. And one of the things that they are always taught is about the deity of Christ and how he's not God and everything else, right? Whereas the Bible teaches that he is God. Well, when you're given the gospel, at some point you're going to have to bring that up and get to the point where you're going to talk to them about Jesus being God, right? Well, here's what you can do. One of the best verses you can use to prove to them that Jesus is God is the very verse that they actually are taught to use against you to disprove that Jesus is God. And that's Luke 18:18, where the rich young ruler comes to Jesus and he says, "Good master, what shall I do that I might inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said to him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, save God, right? And they'll say, see right there, nobody's good except God. God is the only one, right? And then they'll say, Jesus is saying that God is the one who's God and he's not God because of that. Well, I always like to show this verse and then I'll ask them right after, do you believe Jesus is good or do you believe he's bad? And the obvious answer that they're going to give is that Jesus is good. And I'm going to say, correct. That's because Jesus is God. Then they'll usually, go into this fit of, whoa, no, I don't think he's God. I'm like, well, I just read you the verse where Jesus said there's not one that's good. There's no one that's good except one, and that's God. And you just told me Jesus is good, which would make Jesus what? It would make him God. It's a really good verse you can use. Put that in your arsenal so whenever you're out soul winning and preaching the gospel and sharing the love of God, if that comes up, you can use that in your rebuttal so you can explain to them how Jesus is God. I'll see you on the next one.
The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few.